Hi, Felina here to talk about one of my favorite subjects in business, boundaries. I recently led a couple discussions at each of our locations on building boundaries in business and beyond. Is that some alliteration for you, right? So the roundtable discussion I led was really interesting, very enlightening. A lot of our members and a lot of people in general, but I would say women tend to be more so plagued with this than men, have a hard time saying no, have a hard time setting boundaries. So some of the conversations we had were around scope creep. This is especially relevant for service-based businesses when you put forward a proposal or a contract and you're agreeing on a certain set of service offerings, and a month or two into that contract, the client starts asking for other things related to your expertise that are not in that proposal, that you have not agreed upon and are not being paid for, and you think, oh, I'm just going to do this one little thing for them, and I'll kind of put it in the pile of what I've agreed to, but that can get away from you very quickly. And so how do you upfront set that boundary to make sure that the client agrees to and abides by the certain parameters that you've put forward? Saying no to clients that may not be a fit, firing bad clients. Those are all examples of setting boundaries. And what was interesting to me is I asked a very simple question of the participants. I asked, what are you afraid of? In any situation, I partnered our members up for about a 10-minute dialogue, and I just kept asking them to ask each other, all right, so here's the situation, what are you afraid of? And it always seemed to come back, for the most part, to I'm afraid of disappointing the person, I'm afraid of making them mad, I'm afraid of not being seen in a good light to that person. And that's not fair, frankly. We are professionals in our business, and we deserve to run a business in a profitable, successful manner. And feeling bad does not justify not setting boundaries. So what I like to say is just put up a little bit of armor. People will respect you more for it in the end, I promise. It's about knowing your worth, knowing your value, and making sure that you're setting clear guidelines, kind of clear lines between where somebody else ends and where you begin. And to me, building boundaries is the absolutely number one indicator for building self-confidence. And I'll talk about that perhaps in another blog post, but boundaries is so important for women, especially in business, to make sure that they're setting very clear lines.